Did you ever think that marrying young is a mistake?
In this video, we're going to talk about 5 fears that you might be facing right now at this stage of your life. Coming up. Welcome back to the YouTube channel.
I'm Rawan.
And I am Syed, and in this video, we're talking about 5 fears that you're probably facing right now, as we did when we got married young. So the first fear as a man you might be facing right now is financial inability to fund the marriage.
Yeah.
The other fear in this financial aspect would be when you have someone else in your life, how are you going to provide for them?
You think for the first fear, is it something they can figure it out quickly or they need some time for that?
Well, if you have $10,000 in your bank account, then yes. But if you don't work on that, work on your resources and gain some more money, about $10,000. And the thing is, you have to do planning before getting married, not just now. Not like you can turn off this video and go get married. You have to plan for a year or 2 years. There's other points that will require some of the planning as well.
Yeah. And do you think before they just starting their life, they should put some expectation in their spouses or no?
Yeah, so when you're getting married, in the first point, you need 10,000, right? The other thing that the 10,000 is reasonable amount, if your wife and your spouse is okay with the smaller and she's content with a rather small gathering than others.
Yeah.
Because in Canada, it's going to cost you at least 30,000 minimum for a wedding.
So now they got married and everything is fine. What's gonna happen after, like, they already have someone in their lives?
Yeah, so now we're talking about the second point. Now you're married, the wedding is done, you brought the other person in your life. What's gonna happen then? Now this point is a little bit tricky to wrap your mind around, but understand this, that God has said in Quran multiple occasions that He's the provider.
Yeah.
I don't provide for her, for example, or my parents don't provide for us, for example. God provide for it in different ways. So for that matter, when someone come into life, you have to understand that God has already written a specific risk to her, and it will get to her through you in different ways. In fact, there's a saying by Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu that I'm surprised why people don't ask wealth through marriage while Allah has promised that.
Yeah.
So he's saying Allah has promised it, go get married and then ask for wealth through it. Similarly goes with kids. If you were to have kids in future, Allah will provide sustenance. You're a wasila, which is you are a link in between that. Not necessarily you are providing for it.
But of course, first you have to have the intention of working towards be better, and then Allah will give you this risk or like this money and provide you with all you want for your spouse. So the second fear that I found very common and I by myself was facing before getting married is the fear of conflict between in-laws and family. In this video, I'm gonna give you like 4 steps. If you follow, I guarantee to you that you will be able to figure every problem with them and everything's gonna be fine. So the first step, which is the most important step, is before you get married, you have to promise yourself and promise Allah that you're gonna treat your in-laws as your parents exactly. No matter what happened, no matter what they did, you will treat them as your parents. As you expect good and bad from your parents, you will also expect good and bad from them, and you will try to deal with it with the best you have. And the second step that I think you should follow is that I don't think that you should share any issues in your relationship with your in-laws and your family. The more people come into your relationship, the more problems gonna happen. Not just with your in-laws, it's gonna be also with your husband. And remember that at the end of the day, you and your husband is gonna be fine. You guys will forgive each other and everything's gonna be okay with you next day, but your in-law is not going to be okay, and they will all the time remember the issues that happened with their son. And the third step that you should follow is that you have to think as a bigger person. You need to be the bigger person in the family and give without expecting anything in return. And the last step that I have, that you need to overshare your emotions and your feeling with your in-laws as you actually do that with your mom. For example, whenever I feel like I want to go hug my mom, I will go do that without feeling any shy, or I don't even hesitate about doing that. Do the same with your mother-in-law. Whenever you want to like just go hug her, go hug her. Don't ever feel shy about it. She will actually appreciate it. And also when there's any family gathering, for example, like don't ever hesitate to share any good experience or any good situations that your mother-in-law did for you. That's something she will all the time remember, and the more you make her look big in front of everyone, the more that she will make you look big in many situations in the future.
The third fear that you're facing right now is you might be marrying a wrong person. For this, you have to understand this concept that you are exactly where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
You are never nowhere else you're supposed to be. Okay? At this point, the situations, the circumstances, the solutions you have right now, God wants you to decide in this moment. Not when you have something or not when you will have something. No, it's right now. So if you are thinking of getting married, the person, there's a reason out of millions and trillions of people, he or she came in front of you and you connected.
Yeah.
So the wrong person doesn't exist. The right person doesn't exist.
Yeah.
What exists is based on your current knowledge, experience, and power and intelligence, you will make the decision. Now, if you make the decision and when you make the decision, the person turn out to be good, that's great. Be respectful, be patient, and thank Allah. Okay? Now, for whatever reason, from your perspective, it does not turn out to be good, then it's just a test from God that you have to be patient, careful, and work your way through it. Now, you might be asking a question, okay, what if it doesn't work and I cannot handle it? This is also a concept that you have to understand, that Allah will not test you more than you are capable of. So everything you're doing, every tests are given to you, they are sent by God as a way for you to get rid of your sins. So be patient and go through your test. And if let's just say you cannot handle it, then there's other option. The other option is very disliked, but there is that option as well.
And the fourth fear that I found very common when I did a little research is that the fear of marriage will delay our career and make us lose our identity. And for me, before I give you any solution, we need to think why marriage will make us lose our identity. And the bigger reason here is the fear of us not being loved, or the fear of not being enough for the other person. That's why we are losing our identity by just following everything blindly without sharing or without speaking up with the other person. And for the other thing is, marriage is gonna delay your career. The answer is that in the beginning, no. When you get married in the beginning, it will actually motivate you to work more. You will find the environment around you is actually perfect for you to work. You're just responsible for one person. Everything is calm, everything is perfect. But the problem all happen when you actually have a child or you have kids. Then you have to think about only one thing, is that you have to adapt yourself in this stage of your life, and you have to understand and accept the fact that now you have more responsibility and you will compromise something. If you just have those two things, you will not face any problem in this stage. You will be having the enough information for you to handle the situation, and it's gonna run smoothly in this stage.
The last fear that you might be facing right now is the fear of commitment.
Yeah.
Are you okay to commit for the next 50, 60 years of your life, whatever is there for you with that one person? This issue cannot be solved right after you finish watching the video. It's the same thing as financial. You actually have to work it and work for at least a year or more on yourself to get out of this fear, because this fear is rooted deep in your life. It's not just about the marriage. It will be about any new step in your life you're taking. You will fear this fear of commitment. So for you to solve this problem, you first have to work on it on yourself. You have to look into the things that you have been doing. For example, If you're taking a course, have you taken and completed the course? Once you committed, have you seen it through? Have you taken, if you're in the sports, once you commit to the sports, have you seen it through to the point where you cannot do it? Have you started a business and you were committed to the point where you success in that business, or you fail, but you committed through and through? So if the answer is no, then there's a lot of work to do, which means that you have to work with the small things, commit to that, build confidence, and then commit to a bigger thing. That could be gym, right? Going to gym every day, you might be going there, but let's just start with going to gym 5 o'clock every day and commit yourself. The next 2 months, I will be doing that. I'm gonna pray 5 times a day, every day without missing any prayer. Commit to that.
Yeah.
Slowly, when you make these small commitments to yourself and you accomplish it over a long period of time, after a month, 2 months, a year, you will become a person that you're so confident in yourself that you will think, even if I get into this marriage, it doesn't work, I will figure it out.
Yeah.
Or I'm committed to making this marriage work. Just like I was so tired, but I still got up and prayed 5 times. It was so early and so cold outside, I still got up and went to the gym in the morning, right? Your brain will tell you like this is a piece of cake as well, and you will be, if you commit to this marriage and you will do that, you will see it through, you will make it right, you will figure it out. And that was the 5 fears that you might be facing right now. If you have any other questions, suggestions, give us a comment and we will get back to you shortly. Until then, take care of yourself and of this channel by liking and subscribing. We'll see you tomorrow.